Okay, this next video is going to be over the apps in SharePoint and just the central administration portion of apps and the configuration wizard in SharePoint. So I'm going to go over these pretty quickly. It's going to be pretty short. So apps, while this is loading, apps are kind of tricky to set up. You have to set up a separate domain. So if you have, sharepoint.contoso.com, you'll want to set up an app domain of apps.sharepoint.contoso.com. So it's kind of a dual layer. We ran into issues setting these up before, but basically apps let you configure in SharePoint administration. Apps let you this lets you configure the purchase of apps, app licenses, and store settings. So you can go in and purchase apps for the entire farm, manage the app licenses. If users have purchased their own apps or have set that up, then you can manage the licenses that your farm has for those, and then you can also configure settings for the store. Uh, App management lets you manage the app catalog for a web application. So you can have specific app catalogs for each web application in your site and or in your SharePoint farm. You can monitor the apps and track the usage and review any errors that are underneath it. You can configure the app URLs and the app permissions. But that's really, we're not going to go too much into the apps in the App Store because a lot of places, although it's great to use, just aren't going to have the gusto and manpower to set them up. They're a pain in the butt to set up. At least that's been my experience with them. Your results may vary, but this is just where you go to administer and administrate the central administration apps page, if that made any sense. The other and last final thing in our central administration video series, overview series, is the configuration wizards. And if you upload some third-party add-ons and stuff, they might put in a configuration wizard for that. But mainly the farm configuration wizard is what you set up the first time you run SharePoint. It gives you the option to set up the farm, the web applications, and everything else, and go and associate those service applications we saw and talked about in application management, and set those up and create the databases and everything else. Since this is a standalone, it's not going to let me get into my farm configuration wizard because I don't really need to get into it. And we didn't run that. It ran it automatically with the products and setups configuration wizard. So that's pretty much it as far as apps and the configuration wizards go. That's the end of our run through of central administration. I hope you kind of learned something and realize what everything does, and you won't be so intimidated when you look at it. So later on, I'm going to upload some videos going into creating web applications, extending those, administering the service applications, and managed accounts and everything else. So anyway, I got to take a deep breath. It's been a lot of talking today, but that pretty much covers apps and the configuration wizards in central administration. So I hope that was informative, and thanks for stopping by, and be sure to check out the other videos coming on my channel.